Many Americans around the country will celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today, we will do the same as we get to hear from two of our own.
Dear nephew, this innocent country set you down in a ghetto in which, in fact, it intended that you should perish. Let me spell out precisely what I mean by that, for the heart of the matter is here, and the root of my dispute was my country. You were born where you were born and faced the future that you faced because you were black, and for no other reason. The limits of your ambition were thus expected to be set forever. You were born into a society which spelled out with brutal clarity and in as many ways as possible that you were a worthless human being. They do not know Harlem, and I do. So do you. Take no one's word for anything, including mine, but trust your experience. Know whence you came. If you know whence you came, there is really no limit to where you can go. Please try to remember that what they believe, as well as what they do and cause you to endure, does not testify to your inferiority, but to their inhumanity and fear. Please try to be clear, dear James, though the storm which rages about your youthful head today, about the reality which lies behind the words acceptance and integration. You know and I know that the country is celebrating 100 years of freedom 100 years too soon. We cannot be free until they are free. God bless you, James, and Godspeed. Your uncle, James.
This king led a people surrounded by hate, injustice, and struggle. Through it all, he stood strong, he stood tall, he stood proud. When the bold bus driver told the tired Rosa Parks to move to the back of the bus. When the white waiter told the hungry black students, get out, we don't serve your kind. When the malefic mayor told his black voters, your votes don't count. And when the sheriff told the peaceful marchers to get off of our streets, using fire hoses, police dogs, and cattle prods to move them along. The king stood strong. He stood proud, he stood tall, speaking of peace, of love, and of children living equally hand in hand. King Jr. fought for his dreams and the dreams of his people until he was shot while standing on the mountaintop. They shot him coldly, hoping to see him fall, hoping to put him away and to bring him low. But this king, even in death, even today, stands strong, stands proud, stands tall, and we remember. Although a bullet killed the dreamer, the dream is still alive today. We also commemorate on this holiday the man of action, who put his life on the line for freedom and justice every day. A man who braved threats and jail and beatings and who ultimately paid the highest price to make democracy a reality for all Americans. One day before being assassinated, Dr. King delivered a speech entitled, I Have Been to the Mountaintop. In the speech, Dr. King states, and I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. Dr. King's dream was not for himself. It was for America, for the future, for me, for you, for all of us. King built the platform on which I stand today, reaching for my dreams and aspirations. Because of this, I owe all of my gratitude and appreciation to this great man. But is that enough? Is remembering this great leader sufficient? For me, this day represents much more. It is not just a day to remember Dr. King and celebrate his work. It is a day to ask ourselves as Americans, has Dr. King's dream come true? Is this the America he envisioned when he spoke those great words on August 28, 1963? The playing fields are not level, and many times minority communities and their children are left behind in the race to be educated and achieve a better way of life. Sadly, minorities, especially African Americans, are stuck in a cycle of poverty and struggle because of the environment they have been brought up in and the lack of equal opportunity. Wrongly, people of these communities are stigmatized as being stupid, criminals, and worthless. It is when I see these labels and the struggles of my community that I begin to be more aware about the changes that still need to be made. School doesn't have books to teach their students with. When the female worker is told that she will make 70 cents for every dollar that her male co-worker will make. When a close friend is forced to drop out of school and sell drugs on the street because his family is struggling to pay the rent. And when there are currently more African American men in prison, jail, probation, or parole than were enslaved before the Civil War began, I struggle to believe that Dr. King's dream has been accomplished. America has come a long way, but we still have some work left to do to reach the heart and essence of what Dr. King so eloquently preached in his speeches. I bring this all up to say that there's much more that we can still do to help reach the state of equality that Dr. King dreamed of. As educated, privileged, and motivated students, teachers, and staff, we all have the responsibility and the power to continue to work to make America a more equal land for all. We all respect Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and I believe the best way to celebrate, commemorate, and remember him is to become more aware and open-minded of the situation of all Americans and to find a way to strive to make it a better country for all. Dr. King once said, "An individual has not started living until he can rise above the narrow confines of his individualistic concerns to the broader concerns of all humanity." I encourage you, my Belmont Hill community, to start living and make a difference. Thank you.